Hello guys, good morning. I'm back. Before I said anything else, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for 15 subscribers. When I got on there and saw that this morning, I just could not believe it. Like, I know that to most people probably seems like a really small number, but to me, it just, I can't believe that even 15 people have clicked on my videos, let alone subscribe to them. So thank you guys so much, and I really appreciate the continued feedback. Just like I said, I'm new to this, so any sort of advice or feedback for me is completely appreciated, even if it's criticism. Please let me know. Firstly, I have an update for you guys. So yesterday I actually finished 2 items. The first one was my La Roche-Posay pediatric sunscreen. We went to Hershey Park yesterday. My work did an event there. It was really great. And me, my husband, and my daughter all used this, and we were there all day, so we reapplied multiple times. And I actually used more sunscreen in this, but the other one's not finished yet. But this one we did actually completely finish off, so yay, that one's done. And then I finished my shampoo walk yesterday. So I was at the wave pool in Hershey Park. It's called the Boardwalk, and they have like a wave pool they call the Shore. So we were there for most of the day yesterday. And so when I got back, I had to get a shower. That was the first thing that I did. Having that chlorine in my hair, and I didn't want it to damage it or anything. So I used this, and I did double wash my hair. So there was like plenty enough for my first wash, as much as I would usually use, and then there was just like a little bit left, and I just used that for my second wash. And I just figured, because I had that chlorine in my hair, it would be good to do a double wash anyway. So yeah, this one is now done. So I am now 2 products down, which puts me at 128 to go. I also wanted to tell you about the tea that I'm drinking today. So it's the Stash Chai Spice Tea. I only have a few of these. Someone at work gave them to me. There's like 6 of them. I have actually never tried it before until literally right now. Okay, it's pretty good. It's actually kind of similar to that cinnamon tea, but I can definitely taste this as like a black tea with flavor versus my cinnamon tea, which is just cinnamon. Let me put some half and half in here real quick. Oh yeah, that's better. I just love a little bit of creaminess the half and half gives it. Oh, that's right. I also want to show you my cup. This is my favorite cup. It is Chip from Beauty and the Beast. I got this at a thrift store for like $1. I love it so much. I've had it for a long time. He has his little chip there on the side. That's where I drink out of. But yeah, Beauty and the Beast was my favorite growing up, so I love that I have this. So today I really wanted to talk about like setting down some no buy, low buy types of rules. This is sort of one of my favorite things to watch about project planning is like, I'll allow myself this, I won't allow myself that. Just that sort of structure and routine is really, really good for me. And so I really thought about it the last couple of days. What exactly do I want to allow myself to have, what I don't? And I've really came to the conclusion that I do not want to buy anything unless it is the last in that category, it is about to be finished with, and I need the next one. So there are things like shaving cream. I do not use shaving cream. I don't even know why I bought that shaving cream. Once it's finished, I'm not repurchasing another shaving cream because I just don't use it. So same thing with some of my hair products. Like, I dread using them. I don't like using them. I don't even like hairspray. I don't even know why I have 2 of them. So once those are finished, I won't be repurchasing anything of that nature. I might consider having like trial sizes of certain things. That way just to have it, like if I'm gonna have like a special occasion and I want my hair to look a very specific way, then at least I have the option of having hairspray. But I don't need that huge hairspray bottle taking up space in my bathroom when I'm gonna use it literally 3 to 5 times a year. So I wrote down a few things too that I wanted to go over. Firstly, when it comes to my makeup collection. So I almost never wear makeup. I mean, I don't even wear makeup once a week. And I used to love wearing makeup, and it it wasn't even really about the way that it made me look. It was just I enjoyed like actually putting makeup on. I just thought it was fun. And it always sort of reminded me of like my mom. My mom never really wore makeup when I grew up either. I grew up on a farm, so we weren't, that just wasn't important to us. But I just remember being a kid, like watching her put on makeup, and my mom always wore like red lipstick when she did wear lipstick, and that just made me want to do that when I got older. and and also too, I think sometimes because my mom was sort of strict about us not wearing makeup, that sort of pushed me into wanting to explore that area. And I have a small collection. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not overflowing or anything, but it's still way too much for me. So my goal in this particular category is to get down to just basically special occasion makeup, kind of like what I talked about with the hairspray, just to have the item. So I still want to have like a mascara, a foundation, a blush, maybe 2 lipsticks, something like that, to where if I want to wear makeup, I have the means to do so, but I don't have extras of anything. I don't have 4 mascaras or 4 lipsticks and 3 lip liners. So that's my main goal for makeup, is just basically to get that down to a minimal collection, to this is what I need, and everything else is just used up and not repurchased. So to me, it's not worth the money, especially with things like mascara, because it goes bad so quickly. I mean, I bought the Lancome mascara, but that was just for my wedding. I mean, I've used it a few times since, but it's not something, I don't wear mascara daily or even weekly. So it's like, why spend $30 on a mascara that I will probably wear 5 to 10 times before it is dry up or expired? So yeah, basically just going forward, I don't want to purchase any makeup at all. And then I want to just curate my collection down to where, okay, I have these, 5 pieces to where if I want to wear makeup, I have the option, but it's not overflowing. Moving on to perfumes. So I already have my signature scent. I brought it here. So this is my signature scent. It's the Chanel Chance, and it's wonderful. I love this smell. It's very floral. I like a lot of the Chanel fragrances, but I've been wearing this since it came out. I went to the Chanel counter when it came out to smell it, to buy it. And I loved it, and I've worn it almost every single day since. This is my second large bottle. I think this is 5 ounces, and this is my second one. And as you can see, it's halfway done. So this is definitely something I use. It's expensive. I think this was like $175, but like I said, for me, I bought this maybe 2 years ago. I'm still halfway through it. I feel fine spending that type of money on something that I use all the time, but there's no point for me to have other perfumes, because then they're just either sitting there, wasting away because I'm not using them. It's just a waste of money, or then I'm not getting to use this one, and this is the one that I want to use. So for perfumes, definitely just a complete no buy here. Want to work through the few extra ones that I have, and then keep my 2 that I really love. It's this one and then the House of Solange one. Other than that, like, I don't need or want another perfume in my life. And then when it comes to hair care, I honestly use shampoo, conditioner, and then a leave-in spray. I really do not need anything else. I have like multiple hair oils, a scalp treatment, 2 hairsprays, things like a blow dry cream or gel from Redken. Like, I do not need any of those things. I'm not even sure why I had them. I think some of the Redken things I did get from my hair salon, and I think my hairstylist didn't like push me into getting them or anything. I think just sometimes I feel like I go there so much, but like I never buy anything, and I feel like I almost feel awkward, and I'm not going to feel that way anymore because I do not need them. They're very expensive. I mean, the one Redken hairspray is like $30 for something I don't use. I mean, I probably used it 3 times since I've had it, and I've had it for at least a few months. So it's just not worth it. So I'd really like to get my collection down to a shampoo, a conditioner, my leave-in, and like I said, maybe a trial size hairspray just to have if I need it for a certain hairstyle that I'm going for. But day to day, I don't really style my hair much. I pretty much just leave it down like this. And the last category I really want to focus on is sunscreen. So I have 19 sunscreens. Well, I technically used it once. I have 18 sunscreens, but that's a lot of sunscreen. And even though I do use sunscreen daily on my face and my forearms, and then also too, like on the weekends, sometimes I'll use it on my legs or more of my arm or more of my chest, depending on what I'm doing. But I don't need that many. So I want to definitely have a few. I don't ever want to just have one sunscreen because firstly, I use them for different things. But when it comes to face sunscreens, I really want to have just my Eucerin one, which I'm not going to repurchase until I'm finished my other face sunscreens. So once I get down to my last face sunscreen, I will then place my Cocoon Center order for a few of my Eucerin sunscreens. And then for body sunscreens, I'd really just like to have maybe 2 to 3 on hand. Because if we go somewhere for the day and we reapply, I mean, we really can get through, like half of a large bottle of sunscreen in just that day. Like yesterday at Hershey Park, I mean, I had my bathing suit on, which I have a long sleeve UV protectant bathing suit. So I don't really only have to apply to my face, and it also has like a long skirt with it. So I really only have to apply like from my knees down and then like on my face. So I don't really use a lot of sunscreen. But my husband, he doesn't have a shirt on, so he needs a lot of sunscreen. And then my daughter also has the long sleeve UV, but once again, I put it all over her legs and her face. So I mean, we're still going through a lot of sunscreen if we're actually spending the day in the sun, which we don't do all of the time. But if we do, I do want to have that on hand, so I'm not like rushing to the store and be like, oh, well, we don't even have a whole bottle. What if this isn't enough today? And like I said, I do like to use the European sunscreens from Cocoon Center, so I want to be able to place the order with enough that it makes shipping worth it. So I'd like to get down to maybe like 2 bottles of body sunscreen and 1 bottle of face sunscreen, and then do my order in which I'm sort of replenishing everything. So there might be at some points in time where I have like 8 bottles, but then I'm not repurchasing until I have like 2 or 3. So I also wanted to quickly touch on the why of project panning, minimalism, just intentional living. And the first and largest one for me is to be more grateful. So I really struggle with gratefulness. I don't know how else to explain it. I think that in a lot of ways I'm just spoiled. I mean, it's funny because I grew up with almost nothing and really have worked my butt off to be where I am. But in the same time, because of that, I've spoiled myself. So it's not someone else isn't doing this, it's myself. I've spoiled myself because sometimes I go through phases where I feel sorry for myself because I didn't have those things, or I've spent so long before being married. I spent so long being a single mom and not having any income to treat myself, or always having to put someone else before me, that I feel like I just went through a phase where I spoiled myself, and I don't want to do that anymore. And in this process of not doing that, I want to really reinforce and teach myself to use these things. That way I am more conscious in the future when I buy things. Because I see a lot of decluttering videos. I do not want to declutter. If I declutter these things, I am just going to rebuy them. And I know that because I have done that in the past. In the past, I have thrown away like probably a whole garbage bag full of body care and shampoos and things like that. I mean, not like brand new products. I mean, many of them were used at least halfway, but once I didn't like them anymore, or once I bought the next new thing, then that was just in the trash. And I do not want to do that anymore, because clearly I am not breaking that cycle properly so that I don't do it going forward. So that is my number one reason, is to learn gratefulness in a way to say, I have a wonderful family. I have a wonderful job. I have things that I love. I have 2 cats that I love. I do not need these other things. They're not making a difference in my life. In fact, the only difference they're making is cluttering up what I have, and also in a way tying up my finances. I don't spend a ton on things. Most of this stuff is accumulated over a long time. I'm not like a monthly spender. I don't go to Ulta, Sephora, or things like that. Really, I have done a lot to change my spending in general, but still having these things around is a clutter. It clutters my mind just as much as it clutters my house. And so that is my number one reason, is just to learn to be more grateful. The second really big reason is my daughter. So my daughter is 8, and I don't want her to think this is normal. I do not want her to think that you have to have 6 shampoos to have nice hair, or to feel good about yourself, or even just something as generic as cleaning your scalp. There's a physical side of it, like a cosmetic side of it. And then there's like the mental, emotional side of it too. Like, you don't need these things to be clean, but also too, you don't need these things to make you feel different, to make you have more worth or anything like that. So I don't want her to think it's normal in either of those cases. Don't want her to think it's normal that you need this stuff hygienically, and want her to think it's normal that you need this stuff to be someone or to be important or for someone to like you or something like that. I just don't want her to think that. I don't want her to think that she has to be a collector or a hoarder. I want her to think that, hey, I can spend money on things that I really enjoy, and then get the use out of them and appreciate them. And, to me, that's just, like I said, that's just very important to me. The last main thing really has to do with financial, just because I've done a lot to work on my finances. I used to be in a lot of debt. Now I just have my student loan and my car payment, and my car will be paid off in a year. I'd like to do a separate video on finances in general. I do work in banking, and like I said, I've come a long way to change my financial habits. And part of me would like to do a video, just like a one-off or maybe a monthly video on finances, just because that's also something that's important to me. And I've learned so much in my career when it comes to finances that I'd love to share that with anyone else that maybe doesn't have as much opportunity to learn about it. But coming along with finances, my husband and I would like to eventually buy a home. And so not just when it comes to, cosmetics, but when it comes to everything in our life, we really need to be intentional about what we're spending money on, because if we want to afford a home in a few years, then we can't be blowing money on things that don't matter or aren't important, which the most important thing to me is financial stability for my family. Like I said, for a long time, I was a single mother, and financial aspects really caused a lot of anxiety and stress for me. And I had to work really, really hard. And I never want to be in that situation again. And I want to be a role model for my daughter to say, we don't frivolously spend. It's fine to treat yourself. It's fine to enjoy things. It's fine to spend extra money on something. Like I said, that perfume was $175, but I've had it for 2 years. I've worn it almost every day. It's about halfway, so I got another 2 years to it. And to me, that's cheaper in the long run than buying 10 perfumes that I don't even like and barely wear. Quality over quantity really is, I guess, what I'm saying. But yeah, that's another thing that's just really important to me. Anyway, I feel like I've kind of been talking on for a long time. I wasn't really intending for this to be a rant video, but the last thing I wanted to say was about this one particular sunscreen. So this is the Vanity Sun Cream, or Vanny Cream. I'm not sure how you say it. Vanny Cream. I bought this because I've heard a lot about this brand, and it's good for irritated skin and whatnot. It's an SPF 30, which generally for face, even for face, I use SPF 50. It's just the sunscreens I bought are SPF 50. I don't think there's anything wrong with SPF 30. But for me, because I'm so pale and I use retinoids, I prefer the 50. I just feel, psychologically, I feel safer. And I know Michelle from Lab Muffin Beauty, she did a really good in-depth video on how much more protection 50 is to 30. And so, but I wanted to try this anyway, just because it was sort of marketed towards irritated skin or sensitive skin, and it's free of a lot of different things on the front. But this makes me legitimately look like Casper. And so I wanted to actually show this to you, because someone on my last video, they wrote that they also had a problem with the sunscreen, and that they basically used it on the beach and got rid of most of the bottle in that one day because it's just terrible. And I won't say it's terrible as a sunscreen, like effectiveness. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I don't honestly know, but I didn't burn when I was wearing it, but I only ever wore it once because it was so awful. So I actually just wanted to show you how literally terrible this is. And I was thinking about doing a mini series on using this up, just give it its own little video of a bunch of clips of me trying to use this bad boy up, just because I dislike it so much. So I just put such a small amount there just to show you. And the wonderful thing is you can do that forever and it will never look different. It will literally just look like this on your skin. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but I mean, it is white and chalky. So yeah, let me know if you might be interested in me doing a little mini series, just a compilation video of me trying to use that up and how awful it looks on me. So I just want to go ahead and wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much for listening to me rant. It's It's really incredible to me because in the real world, I don't have any friends, and it's difficult because I have a lot of social anxiety. I worked from home for 2 years, and I think that caused it because I've always been my own independent, awkward person. Not gonna lie there. um, but after that, it just became worse. It's just like I'm almost afraid to go. Being at Hershey Park yesterday, oh my goodness, it was so hard just to be around that many people. I mean, it's just it gives me anxiety right now just thinking about it. And I don't even really know why, because I'm not afraid of people themselves, so I don't really know what it is, but I think sometimes too it's hard because I'm always on high alert with my daughter, just if just like I'm so like paranoid, like someone's gonna snatch her or she's gonna get hurt or something like that. So I think some of it is also that, but just in general, I feel like I have a hard time connecting with people. I don't do small talk very well. I'm really more of a deep conversation type of person, and sometimes I feel like that's where my barrier is to creating friends. Um, but yeah, sorry, I don't even know why I'm ranting about that. Oh, mainly I just wanted to say that thank you guys so much for watching and commenting and subscribing, and just to the 15 people that have already subscribed, thank you so much. It really means the world to me. I don't even know how to express the way that I feel because it's given me so much motivation, and it's just the motivation I've really needed for a long time. So I really appreciate that so much. You guys have a great day. Bye. It's not the cinnamon tea, but it's alright.